Welcome to CTV News Your Canada. It's Tuesday, May 13th. We'll bring you profiles of fascinating Canadians and stories about your community. Thanks for watching.
It has been the talk of the underground music scene for decades. It was March 4th, 1991, the only show Nirvana ever played in Calgary.
Talked to probably about 15,000 people, and they'll tell you they were there, and they weren't.
But Mike Bell was.
Just back there, there was a back door.
The grunge band out of Seattle played at the Westward Club, now the location of Hotel Arts downtown.
They were green. Their merch was a couple of shirts, and they actually bought a box of lighters, and then they just wrote Nirvana in pen on it.
But just months later, Nirvana exploded into the mainstream with the release of Nevermind. Now, a rare bootlegged copy recording of the show has emerged, the sound of Nirvana before their breakout. It was found by Mike Jenkins at a recent music collector show. The tape was gifted to him by the family of a man who used to own a local record store. It came with a letter detailing its history. It was recorded by someone in the crowd on a dictaphone.
He said that the band caught him recording, and that's probably why there's so many cuts between songs.
Jenkins said the lead singer, Kurt Cobain, gave the man permission to keep the recording as long as he didn't sell it, something he plans to honor and is instead working to preserve.
I'm just really happy that, that hopefully the world gets to hear this now.
The mythical status of the show, to have it documented, is really wonderful. We want people to hear this. I know that the Nirvana community especially is really excited.
That includes Bell, who we played it for 3 decades after he watched it live.
It's not as terrible as I think I expected it to be. It was a great show.
If you're hoping to hear the recording in full, Jenkins is planning a special listening party for fans, and he wants to connect with anyone who was there or has memorabilia to help preserve a small piece of Nirvana's legacy. Terry Fikowski, CTV News, Calgary.
While most students here are in their 20s, Sarah Saidi is just 15.
I finished the entire elementary school material when I was 6.
Her parents discovered her talents as a baby. She started talking around 1 year old and graduated high school at 13 just 2 years ago.
I didn't tell anyone about my age because I didn't want them to treat me differently.
Saidi was initially accepted to Concordia University at 13 years old. But because her study documents took so long to come in, she only started last fall, right at the same time as the provincial government raised tuition for international students to over $20,000.
The value of the Iranian currency is just dropping so rapidly, it is crazy. So if we were counting on getting money from Iran, from my father who lives there, it just doesn't work anymore.
Now, despite having a 4.0 GPA in biochemistry, straight A's, and a letter from a professor saying Sarah Saidi is a truly gifted young student, and I had no idea she was years younger than my typical students, she might not be able to continue, and that would force her to go back to Iran.
It's heavy, it's huge, and things are not good there for a woman, for a young woman specifically.
Over the past few years, Iran has cracked down on university students in the face of protests over the death of a 22-year-old woman in police custody. Her legal guardian in Canada says it's not safe.
For her to go back, it's very dangerous, and I don't want her to have any fear.
The university says to get a study permit from Quebec and Canada, international students must show to both governments that they have sufficient funds to study here. Saidi now has just weeks to get the money together while keeping up her studies.
Knowing that every single grade that I earn is going to determine my entire future and my entire status to even stay in this country.
At just 15 years old, she's trying to figure out how to keep her academic dreams alive. Kelly Gregg, CTV News.
Carrie McGraw has never scored a ticket to a whiteout street party.
Very sad. I want to experience it for once in my life.
It isn't from lack of trying. Every time tickets drop, they're sold out before she makes it to the top of the queue. She's even posted on social media looking for someone selling, but all the responses seem fishy.
Everybody has the same story. which is why I'm like, I don't trust it.
All of the $10 whiteout tickets get snapped up in minutes. Jets fan Ariana Huff got 4 for Thursday's party.
Nobody else who tried got any, so we're just hoping we can find more so all the friends can come.
Fans who want to experience the NHL playoff energy have to turn elsewhere.
Click on their profile and it's all posts from a day ago. They're very obviously fake people. And all their reviews are people saying, like, I just got ripped off by this person.
And probably pay more.
At first it was for like $20, $30, which is like, okay, that's fine. But then I went on StubHub and I found some for $200 and I checked again the next day and they had sold. Like, who is paying that?
A Winnipeg police spokesperson tells CTV News Winnipeg its financial crimes unit has had a few reports come through about whiteout party ticket scams. They discourage sending e-transfers to unknown sellers for tickets buyers have not seen themselves. True North says the 4-ticket limit is there to help more people get tickets, and the resale function is also not enabled. Both measures prevent the upselling of tickets, and there is no indication that this is happening in abundance at this time, a spokesperson said in a statement. McGraw says she's never seen so many suspicious sellers online.
If you find out through someone that they know someone who has them, that's a different story. Of course, I'll go that way. But if I don't know the person, I'm not going to chance it.
But if not, she'll just go to a different party somewhere else. Michelle Gerwing, CTV News, Winnipeg.
10 baby possums were found alive, still clinging to survival inside their mother's pouch. The mom hit and killed by a vehicle.
And our staff responded to that call, and luckily, because the possums are marsupials, checked the pouch and there were 10 babies inside. And they were able to bring them here to stay warm in our new incubators that were just donated and recover until they could be transferred to wings.
The Windsor-Essex County Humane Society is reminding drivers, if you spot a dead possum, and it's safe to do so, check for babies.
Their pouch for a mom acts as like a padding for them, right? So she can take the blunt of the force and they can still easily survive.
It's a simple act that can mean the difference between life and death.
And those little possums were so active. They were just adorable. So they had some time with their mom, so it wasn't dire situation that they had, been able to feed from her and get some strength. And they were lively and raring to go.
Officials say put on a pair of gloves, put a towel in a box, along with the possum.
And just bring the whole body to us. And then we'll deal with removing the possums.
It's not just possums. Ducklings and other small creatures are turning up more often as the weather warms. Some are orphaned, others are simply lost.
It's that time of year.
If you do find an animal in distress, officials say call the experts. Don't try to raise or rescue them yourself.
It's probably not your first instinct, but now that's the whole point of education, right? Is to raise the awareness that, oh, I never knew that.
People find these babies by themselves going, oh my gosh, they're by themselves, they need help. Often they don't. So, always give a phone call. Or right now it's fledglings. So robins are starting to fledge out of the nest. They're not a bird that can fly instantly. So they spend the first couple of weeks on the ground, hopping from place to place, learning how to be a bird. So always give them a call.
Whether it's a duckling waddling across traffic or a tiny possum in trouble, springtime brings more than flowers. A bit of caution behind the wheel could save lives, big and small. Stephanie.
Okay, Chris Campbell tonight. Thank you for this.
Evelyn Schaller's 46-year nursing career started because she wanted to help people.
I went to see my family doctor. He used to be a nurse before he was a physician. And he said, why don't you try nursing?
Schaller graduated from the VG Hospital School of Nursing in Halifax in 1964. Though her career began and ended in Nova Scotia, she also worked at hospitals in Sarnia, Ontario, and in London, England. Over the years, she witnessed a lot of firsts.
The first one that I remember is the introduction of chemotherapy. I was there for when we did the first kidney transplant, when we did the first liver transplant.
She also helped care for patients who underwent Nova Scotia's first open heart surgeries.
I was there for the HIV epidemic when we had all of these young men come in and we didn't know what was wrong with them. We knew they had a pneumonia and they were sick, but we did not know what the cause was.
She says as the years went on, the camaraderie among the nurses and the bonds formed with some of the patients stood out more than anything else.
Later on, I did it because I just loved it. I loved being part of the action.
Looking ahead on this International Nurses Day, Schaller says there are more nurses than when she started out. She feels they're better educated and have better tools to do the job. When asked what advice she might give,
to keep in mind that people aren't patients by choice. And so therefore they deserve dignity. Number one, call them by their name.
And she has one other message for today's young nurses.
Nurses have to take care of themselves. If they don't take care of themselves, they can't take care of anyone else. So that's probably the biggest lesson I learned.
A look to the future and back at a remarkable career. Ryan McDonald, CTV News, Sydney Forks, Nova Scotia.
From seeding through packaging. Millions of pounds of lettuce grown by Haven Greens in King Township is being cultivated for shelves across the province, all with the help of AI technology.
Here we utilize a number of advanced autonomous control systems to optimize our energy density and really try to get, I guess you could say, the most energetic bang for your buck in terms of how much volume we're putting off of these lines.
The lettuce produced year-round.
Those seeds are grown over the course of 24 to 25 days for lettuces. For our flavoring varieties, it's between 13 and 14 days. And at the end of that cycle, you come out with delicious, crispy baby leaf greens.
Using tech and automation, whether it's baby greens, baby red, or green leaf, the lettuce is produced without human contact, pesticide-free, and non-GMO.
It's being delivered to you without human hands ever touching that product, which ensures that what you're getting is clean, it's safe because there's no chemical pesticides used in this facility, and ultimately it is a significantly better and fresher product.
Using ultra-efficient solar energy and water collection, the production has a smaller carbon footprint than lettuce imported from the United States that has to travel thousands of kilometers.
A product where it takes 2 weeks from the field in order to get to a retail consumer's table. For us, we aim to have product that is delivered from our greenhouse here to our consumers' tables within 48 hours of harvest.
An efficiently grown product immune to devastating impacts of climate change.
We're local in Ontario, we're local in Southern Ontario and the GTA and north of the GTA. We want to be the folks that bring you fresh, tasty, healthy, nutritious greens on a daily basis.
This facility is planning to be net zero by 2027-2028. Now this operation right here in King Township produces about 5,000 pounds of lettuce a day and is already available in metro locations around Ontario. They're also hoping to become available in Sobeys by the end of this month. Luke Simard, CTV News, King Township.
A whole slew of dignitaries and officers from a variety of units turned out in force at Fairview Mall today. Police connecting with the communities they serve and raising awareness about the services they provide.
Because safety in our city takes many forms and it relies on the Toronto Police Service being connected to the citizens it protects.
The theme for Police Week this year is Protecting Ontario.
We know that the presence of police and ease of access to our members matters for the safety and well-being of our communities.
Scores of officers on hand to talk to members of the public, community members who were also invited to check out equipment they don't normally have access to, like command vehicles, forensic identification services vehicles, K9 unit, and emergency task force vehicles.
It's super cool. Like, I've never seen this stuff in person before.
I've never seen anything like this before. I really like the classic cars they have out.
Police Week was first celebrated in 1970 to coincide with Peace Officers Memorial Day, which is observed in the United States on May 15th to pay tribute to fallen and injured officers.
What our police officers do every day makes a real difference in people's lives. And they do it no matter the danger, no matter the threat, and no matter the odds.
The focus of Police Week is working together to enhance public safety and prevent crimes to achieve safer and healthier communities.
Very important. Like, this community engagement is invaluable. Like, you need this stuff.
Someone in their position never wants to feel disconnected from the community, especially when they're trying to serve the community.
I think it makes me feel safer and knowing that the police aren't that far from the community.
Police Week started yesterday and will run through to Saturday, May the 17th. Janice Golding, CTV News.
A powerful reminder today of the close relationship between Canada and the Netherlands, forged in the 1940s, and the vital role played by Ottawa's Civic Hospital. CTV's Camille Wilson joins us live now with more. Camille.
Yes, Katie, we remember this story every spring when the tulips are in bloom, how Canada provided a safe haven for the Dutch in the Second World War and became the birthplace of Princess Marguerite. And as thanks, the Netherlands provide tulips for the annual festival. There was an event today at the Civic Hospital. The ambassador visited with gifts for the hospital. The timing is perfect during the Tulip Festival, which has become a springtime tradition after the Second World War. The Netherlands donated 100,000 tulips after the war to say thank you.
I had the pleasure and the honor to give a lot of tulips to staff and patients at Ottawa Hospital. To commemorate the birth of our royal princess, Princess Margriet of the Netherlands, in 1943 at this very hospital.
It's very much a legacy of both this hospital, this town, and this country.
Her Royal Highness, Princess Margriet.
Even as the hospital evolves, it will find new ways to strengthen the connection and commemorate shared history, marking the transition of Princess Margriet's legacy from the Civic campus, where she was born, to the Ottawa Hospital's new building, creating a lasting memory for generations to come. This has resulted in the biggest tulip festival outside of the Netherlands and recognizing the importance of Princess Margriet, Queen Juliana, and the entire Tulip Festival. There is so much history between these two countries. In 1943, when the royal family was here, it was the first and only time a foreign flag flew over the Peace Tower, a tribute to the people of the Netherlands. Katie.
Quite extraordinary. CTV's Camille Wilson reporting live for us tonight. Thank you.
0.4, the puck completely crossed the line, goal.
Not much can happen in less than a second, but it was all the time the Vegas Golden Knights needed to get their first win of the series.
This crowd has been stunned into near silence.
The game winner coming at 0.4 of a second. That number haunting Oilers fans 36 hours later, as this billboard started popping up in Edmonton early Monday morning.
It was an amazing moment in sports. It was an amazing moment for Las Vegas.
Jonathan Fine is the mastermind behind the cheeky billboards. He owns Parkway Tavern, a sports bar with 7 locations in Nevada, including 4 in Las Vegas.
This was done with a smile. We love the rivalry. It was all done in good fun.
Fine says his company paid $5,000 to taunt Oilers fans on 165 different digital billboards in our city.
Edmonton's a great hockey town. There's tons of talent, tons of heart. There's no disrespect meant at all, and the fans are eating it up.
Hockey fans CTV News spoke with were divided.
That wasn't for fun. They know what they're doing. They're trying to piss them off.
I'm a Jets fan, so I think that's hilarious.
I don't know. I think it's kind of sad.
I think it's for fun, but it's always a rivalry around here, so I like it, but I say go Oilers.
The billboard ads were scheduled to run for 12 hours today. The owner tells CTV News one company pulled it from their rotation after a few hours due to complaints.
This is kind of bringing personality and humor in. Sports gives us the opportunity to do that. This is all in good fun. We would love to see something back from the fans in Edmonton.
The Oilers return to Las Vegas for Game 5 on Wednesday. Nairm Nisa, CTV News, Edmonton.
Eat Local Huron just opened a retail location in November, bringing together over 700 products from over 50 local farmers and makers under one roof.
It used to be that you'd have to drive for some of this stuff from farm gate to farm gate. Some would be at one farmer's market but not another. During the winter, the farmers markets were shut down. We wanted to just have one spot where you could get all the great local stuff that's being made all in one location.
After a slow start, things picked up right after Donald Trump started talking about tariffs and turning Canada into the 51st state. Spoletta says sales are up as much as 40% since Trump's trade threats began.
Some people have said that it's the final straw, that they had heard about us, knew that we were doing this local food thing, and then the tariffs were the final straw. They said, that's it, I'm just buying local.
Eat Local Huron isn't alone. Virginia Ehrlich's subscription box business of products made only in small Canadian towns has seen an even bigger sales bump due to Trump's tariff talk.
Our sales have doubled year over year. And in the last 2 months alone, we have welcomed 200 additional Acre 75 gathered subscribers.
Ehrlich says many of her new subscribers specifically referenced tariffs and wanted to support Canadian businesses when they signed up for her seasonal subscription boxes filled with only Canadian-made goodies. While Spalletta concedes he may not love the reasoning why people are choosing local food, he's just happy that they are, because part of the problem with the local food movement has always been just getting people to try it once, because once they do, they tend to be repeat customers.
We're happy to have people eating local. We have nothing against Americans. We just think it makes sense, especially for food, to get it from as close to home as possible, so that it's fresher, healthier, better for the local economy, and better for the planet because of our carbon footprint.
Sometimes it takes things like this, these threats and the economy, to really reinforce that shopping local and Canadian shouldn't only be a trend. It really is a solution.
In Midwestern Ontario, Scott Miller, CTV News.
At the point, Chromiak.
Whether it's on the ice or off, the Kitchener Rangers have a goal. And when it comes to updating its space at the Odd,
it's all about player recruitment and player experience.
To give itself an edge, the team will renovate player facilities, upgrading the fitness center, players' lounge, and therapy spaces. But that's not all.
Where they're moving into is our current business office. So our business office has to move, so we will have a new business office. Our business office is moving into our existing media and scouts room, so we have to replace and create a new media scouts room.
The budget for the new build is set at around $2.5 million, and the team is covering the costs.
The plan is to be under budget.
Renovations to the Rangers' home base are expected to start as soon as this week and run until late August. At the same time, another project is in the works, this time for the fans.
The city felt it was a good time to take advantage of this opportunity to look at a new restaurant.
The new restaurant will move into the subscribers' lounge on the second floor. The budget for that is $2 million, with 25% funded by taxpayers.
It is available and open not only for Rangers games, but for Titans games, other events, tournaments.
As more organizations eye the Odd for future events, the city says the renovations are necessary.
I think these improvements are really going to help take the team to the next level over the coming years, and will also guide the city in its work.
Even though it's the off season, the Rangers remain focused on crushing the competition and creating a fan and player experience that can't be beat.
We're competing now with U.S. colleges greater than ever. That we had to be able to do some renovations and improve the player experience that were really within our control and financial means. So no time like the present to be able to do this.
Buddy? Tina Kermis has cared for a lot of rescued birds over the years.
Hi.
But none have compared to Bruce.
He has a sparkle in his eyes.
When the Parrotlet wasn't playing fetch with Tina or cuddling with her on the couch, he was engaging in all sorts of conversations.
He's got a zest for life, is how I say it.
But it wasn't until after she adopted him from the exotic bird rescue she was volunteering at that Tina realized how much Bruce also relished raspberries.
He made a tremendous mess.
They would splatter up to 6 feet, Tina says, until she found a way to contain Bruce's barrage of berries under a clear dome and shared a picture of it on an online bird group.
I didn't realize, the impact that Bruce eating would have.
Tina started posting videos of more than eating, what seemed to be abstract art making on the paper that was placed under the dome, which earned tens of millions of views.
I get comments like I had a really sad day and so much going on in the world, and then I saw this video and it made me so happy.
So Tina published a pair of books about Bruce's berry art to raise money for local bird sanctuaries. Life was good. Until it suddenly wasn't.
He actually started having seizures.
Went blind in both eyes.
Which was terrible.
And stopped doing all the things he'd done before.
He's a good boy.
But then, while Tina and their vet worked tirelessly to care for Bruce, another rescued Parrotlet named Mildred started unexpectedly flying over to help.
Mildred was showing Bruce where his food was, where his water was.
Along with physically attending to Bruce, Mildred was caring for him emotionally, too.
She's helped him so much. He's getting around really well.
And while Tina couldn't be more grateful that Bruce has recovered some sight in one eye, put on weight, and was even caught on camera returning to his Barrie Dome, she's most grateful that Bruce and Mildred have become the best of friends.
And he's happy. You can see like the little sparkle in his eyes. You know, he's got a friend who's helping him unconditionally. It's huge.
Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, Vancouver.